All right, let's slow down and really sit with this, because this topic deserves time. Have you ever noticed how moving on sounds so easy when people talk about it, but feels almost impossible when you're the one actually trying to do it? Like, people say move on the same way they say drink water or get enough sleep. Simple advice. Zero emotional effort required. But when you try to move on, it feels less like walking forward, and more like dragging a heavy suitcase full of memories behind you, with one broken wheel. So let's talk about the real reason we can't move on. Not the Instagram quote version. The real, uncomfortable, human reason. First truth. We don't miss the pain. We miss the meaning. If something didn't matter, you wouldn't still be thinking about it. Your brain doesn't replay random boring moments. It replays moments that shaped you. That argument. That goodbye. That I'll text you later that never turned into a text. Those moments mattered. And your mind treats them like unfinished business. Your brain hates unfinished stories. Think about a TV series that gets canceled without an ending. You don't just forget it. You stay annoyed for years. That's exactly what happens with real life. When there's no closure, the brain keeps the door open. And every time you think you're moving on, your mind goes, wait, what if there's still more to this? Another reason we can't move on is control. Let's be honest. Replaying the past gives us a fake sense of control. When you think, if I had said this, if I had left earlier, if I had stayed longer, it feels like you're fixing something. But you're not fixing anything. You're just mentally time traveling with no return ticket. And yet, the brain prefers an illusion of control over the scary reality that some things were never in our hands. Now here's something most people won't admit. Sometimes we don't move on because pain feels familiar, and familiar feels safe, even if it hurts. Your mind knows how to survive this pain. It has routines, late-night thoughts, certain songs, certain memories. Moving on means entering unknown emotional territory, and the brain hates the unknown. That's why people stay stuck in situations they know hurt them, because at least they understand that pain. It's like wearing shoes that hurt your feet, but refusing to buy new ones because, what if the new ones hurt even more? Then there's identity. This one hits hard. Sometimes what you're holding onto isn't a person or a moment. It's a version of yourself. The before you, before the heartbreak, before the disappointment, before life humbled you. Moving on feels like admitting that version of you is gone. And grief isn't just about losing people. It's about losing who you used to be. That's why moving on can feel like betrayal, like you're disrespecting your own past. But listen closely. You're not dishing your past by growing beyond it. You're honoring it by learning from it. Another sneaky reason we can't move on? Hope. Yeah, hope. That tiny voice that whispers, maybe one day. Maybe they'll realize. Maybe things will change. Hope is beautiful, but unchecked hope can keep you emotionally stuck. It's like standing at a bus stop for a bus that already changed routes. You keep waiting, not because it's coming, but because leaving feels like giving up. And giving up feels painful. But here's a truth that might sting a little. Moving on isn't about forgetting. It's about accepting that some chapters don't get rewrites. You don't erase a memory. You stop reopening the wound. And that doesn't happen overnight. Healing is weird. One day you feel okay. The next day a smell, a song, or a random notification hits you emotionally out of nowhere. You think, wow, I thought I was over this. You are. Healing just isn't linear. It's more like cleaning a room and finding emotional dust in places you didn't know existed. Now let's talk about the biggest lie about moving on. That it means you stop caring. No. Moving on means you stop letting the past control your present. It means you stop checking old messages. Not because you don't care, but because you care about your peace more. It means choosing yourself, even when nostalgia tries to pull you back. And here's the quiet part nobody tells you. Moving on feels boring at first. No drama. No emotional highs and lows. Just calm. And calm can feel empty when you're used to emotional chaos. But calm is where healing lives. So if you're struggling to move on, please don't shame yourself. You're not weak. You're human. You loved. You hoped. You cared deeply. That's not something to be embarrassed about. One day, without realizing it, you'll go hours, then days, without thinking about what once hurt you. And when you finally look back, you won't feel pain. You'll feel understanding. You'll realize the past didn't break you. It shaped you. And the reason you couldn't move on was because you were growing into someone who needed time to become stronger. And honestly, that's not failure. That's progress. You ever notice how you can move houses, change phones, even change hairstyles, but you can't move on from one person, one mistake, or one moment from your past? Like, your body is in 2025, but your mind is still stuck on a random Tuesday from 3 years ago. Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Because the real reason we can't move on isn't what most people think. People love to say, just let it go. Time heals everything. Bro, just be positive. Thanks. Very helpful. That's like telling someone who's drowning to just swim better. So why do we actually struggle to move on? Here's the truth no one tells you. We don't hold on to the past because we love pain. We hold on because the past still feels unfinished. Think about it. When something ends clearly, like a movie with a proper ending, you might feel sad, but you move on. But when something ends suddenly, confusingly, or unfairly, your brain hates that. Your brain is like, wait, that's it? That's the ending? Nah, I need answers. So it keeps replaying the memory. Different angles. Different dialogues. What if I said this? What if I didn't do that? What if things were different? Congratulations. You're now stuck in a mental loop. And here's the funny part. Your brain thinks it's helping you. It believes that if it just replays the past enough times, one day it'll find the perfect solution and magically fix everything. Spoiler alert, it won't. Another big reason we can't move on is because we're attached to the version of ourselves that existed back then. Maybe you were happier, more confident, more hopeful, or maybe someone loved you in a way you haven't felt since. So when you try to move on, it feels like you're not just losing a memory. You're losing you. That's scary. It's like cleaning your room and finding an old hoodie you never wear, but you can't throw it away because it reminds you of a better time. You don't need the hoodie. You miss the feeling. And let's talk about expectations. Sometimes we're not stuck on the person or the situation. We're stuck on the future we imagined, the trips you planned, the conversations you thought you'd have, the life you thought you were building. Your heart is grieving something that never even happened. That's deep and annoying. Now here's where light humor comes in. You know how you tell your friends, I'm over it. But then one song plays, and suddenly you're staring at the wall like a movie character having a flashback? Yeah, same. That's because emotions don't understand logic. You can know something is over and still feel like it isn't. And that's not weakness. That's being human. Here's the real reason we can't move on, and listen carefully. Moving on feels like accepting that what happened actually happened. No undo button. No go back. No alternate ending. And part of us isn't ready to accept that reality yet, because acceptance feels like surrender. But here's a plot twist. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's letting go of the fight with the past. You don't move on by forcing yourself to forget. You move on by allowing the memory to exist without letting it control you. The moment you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Something shifts. Slowly. Quietly. You don't wake up one day magically healed. You wake up one day and realize you didn't think about it as much. And then one day, not at all. So if you're struggling to move on, don't rush yourself. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're just processing something that mattered. And that takes time. But trust me, one day, the memory that hurts today will feel like a chapter you survived, not a place you live in. And when that day comes, you'll look back and realize you didn't lose yourself. You found a stronger version. If this made you feel understood, you're not alone. And if you're still stuck, that's okay. Healing isn't fast, but it is possible, and you're already on your way.